10 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Good to have you with us on the South African Morning. I'm Gareth Edwards. Gun violence in our country once again in the spotlight. It, of course, follows the murders of rapper eNCA and his friend Tibz outside a restaurant in Durban. Then, it was just a few days after that, Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi is calling for stricter gun laws. Is that the way to go? Well, let's get the thoughts of safety and security expert Dr. Kock, regular guest here on eNCA, making time for us this morning. Dr. Kock, hello, good morning. Appreciate the time. Is stricter gun laws... Good morning. Is stricter gun laws the way to go?
Well, I would say if we, I don't know if we can have more stricter than we already have. You see, I don't think gun laws will help this, will solve this problem. Because the problem is that there are too many firearms in the hands of criminals. That is the problem. And also we have seen a tremendous growth of organized crime in South Africa during the last, say, 10 years, especially 6 years. And it seems that guns are for hire. I mean, you can, if you have a problem with your family member, if you have a problem with your opposition, if you have a problem with your business partner, whatever the case may be, you can get somebody to take that person out. And for that, gun laws, stricter gun laws won't actually help, because the guns are already in the hands of those people who will do this killing for money.
And this is where the argument comes in, and I know it's been going around in circles for a while, Doctor. Some are suggesting stricter gun laws to the point where ordinary citizens will not be allowed to have their own firearms unless it's for hunting, i.e. no longer allowed to have guns for self-defense. But the lawful guns, to your point, are not the problem. It's the illegal guns which the police can't manage.
Yeah, well, it's clearly the illegal guns, and some of those illegal guns, especially the high caliber ones, the ones that are used in hits. I'm not saying that this specific case of eNCA was a hit. I don't want to actually talk about that specific case. But if it was a hit, then that high caliber guns that was used in that specific case, sometimes it comes from the police, from the people who are there to protect us.
And also, we've heard issues in the past, Doctor, that police stations being robbed, the armories being robbed, and firearms that police have either confiscated or police firearms themselves being used as well. I want to move away from the gun laws issue because we could go around in circles all day, Doctor, as you know. I want to get your thoughts, though, as a South African, as citizens, what do we do to try and protect ourselves in a country that is clearly rife with violence? Here was someone just standing out in the open and they were taken out. What do we do as citizens?
Well, that's also a difficult question. I just want to say, clearly, murder is out of control. We had a double-digit figure in the previous year. In this year so far, the stats that was released, we have got another double-digit figure. So clearly there's something very much wrong when it comes to murder. Now, how do you protect yourself? If you're an ordinary citizen, you should look after your safety at home. You should have burglar bars, you should have alarm systems, if you can afford those stuff. And you should belong to or join a security company, a quick response, so that you can at least see that the possibility of house robbery, that you don't become the victim of house robbery. When you drive around in your car, you should be very careful and should always look in the mirror if somebody is not following you. If you think you are followed, just pass your house and go to the nearest police station or to a public place and see if that car is still following you. Now, if you're and then even if you walk in the street, if you go for a jog in the morning, you must be very careful and see if you are not followed. Actually, you must keep to places which you know which are relatively safe. That is the only way to protect you against violence. If you are a celebrity or there's good reason to believe that you may become a target because you are a whistleblower, or because you are a businessman which have not accepted protection from some or other criminal organization, then I think the best will be to go to the police and say that I have a problem. I'm a whistleblower, and I believe that I may become the target, or I'm a celebrity and I'm in competition with somebody, and I have a fear that I can be gunned down.
It's terrible that we even have to have a conversation like this, Dr. de Kock, and live in those conditions. But I thank you very much for weighing in on your thoughts on the gun laws and also safety tips. They seem obvious, but I think a lot of people don't do it. And Dr. Chris de Kock making some very, very good points regarding safety and security. It's just the obvious things, Tibz, about being in high visibility areas, high trafficked areas as well, and just paying more attention to your surroundings. And unfortunately, that's just the country we live in at the moment. My thanks again to Dr. Chris de Kock.